Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Grown Folk Business. You know, bringing you open, honest, raw conversation. Keep it real or keep it deep, fuck quiet. I'm your boy Striz.
Snub Nose. Nice to meet you, everybody out here. Thank you for coming.
That was real, like, humble.
Yeah, I feel good, man.
Don't do that shit,
My
son.
boy John, I mean, you doing, getting in at La Cultura.
La Cultura, yes. Las Cultura, that's what we have today.
She had at least told us. Yeah, I got it now. I'm rolling the R a little bit.
I'm glad you did that, though, because I ain't say that shit for a reason. I ain't gonna fuck it
I
up.
got it. That's why I know you didn't. That's your back, brother. ESP we got, dog.
I'm a good team.
Yeah, but more importantly,
Honorable guest today. Shout out John Breeden, bring a Breeden Enterprise.
my man.
And
Happy
I'm
to be
here.
here. Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir, bro.
Being here, brother.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. Other than being beat up by my son, I'm cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Son can fight.
How was it?
He's 3.5 months.
Oh, okay.
He's already learning how to cuss.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's weird because we actually don't cuss
Right.
that much. Yeah, my son, man, it's just something about when it's time to go to sleep, he just don't care. That means at night, nap time, anytime I try to get sleep, not for him, because he do whatever he wants.
Right.
But yeah, when it's time for him, he don't cry, he yells.
Oh, he get fussy. But
He yells. We try to rice water,
like
everything. It don't work. He don't care.
At all.
Yeah, so he beat me up today. So if I feel like I'm a little lagged,
You said a couple, three month old hooks.
Yeah, right.
A couple kicks to the face, probably.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Breeden Enterprise. Let's talk about it, man. How did it start?
All right. So a few years ago, I was working for another company, and I was one of their top trainers. So I was thinking, like, all right, well, if I can be their top trainer, I need to be doing my own thing. You know what I mean? So it just came to a point where it was a tough transition for me because they were actually about to make an offer for me to make more money. And I was like, all right, so I have a choice. I could start my own, or I make more money here with this more established company. But the thing was, the only thing I didn't like was the limit. So I asked, I was like, what's the most I can make? You know, they gave me a limit, and I was like, is that the most I can make?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah, that's the most you make. So I was like, all right, well, I just need to do my own thing. And it was weird because the offer he gave me was not common for all the other trainers. I was the best trainer there. So it was like, all right, I'm going to go and do my own thing. But at the time, it wasn't Breeden Enterprises. It was John Breeden Enterprises. So Breeden Enterprises is like a, 2.0 version of what I originally started with.
Got you.
And I started off by myself just doing private lessons. Was going back to my old high school speaking, sometimes speaking in churches, just trying to get my rhythm down in terms of how to help people, motivate people.
So what is it? Just for people that don't know. Like,
So Breeden Enterprises is motivational speaking and also basketball training for players.
okay.
Oh,
Nice.
So pretty much my two strengths. I like to talk and I like to play basketball.
boom. Keep it simple and make money off of that.
Yeah.
Right.
What a wonderful life you live. Yeah, man.
I mean, that's the best way to do
That's
it,
how
man.
you should do it, man.
That way you go to work, and you love it every day.
And your focus, the poor man he was working for knew I'm going to offer him a little more than what we will offer the top trainer. We going to go above that because what did you really worth? You know what you really worth. That's why I left. Like, I'm out of there.
Exactly. And to be honest, I was kind of glad I was gullible in a sense. I didn't know what it would take to really have a business. I just knew I just didn't want nobody to control me. So that was really motivating me. It wasn't really a dollar figure per se, but when you put limits on me, that really it brings out a different animal in me. So I'm like, whatever it takes, I'm gonna figure it out. But man, 5 years of business ups and downs, if I knew that I was going to go through all that, to be honest, I probably would never left.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad I didn't know that.
You was getting offered more money too?
Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't know that because I wouldn't have traveled the world to speak. I wouldn't have met as many kids as I did on my own time. You know, it's different when you go certain places and you're associated with somebody. But when you're the main headliner, you're the guy, it's different. And, when you wear your own brand, it's different than wearing a Nike shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If I'm wearing a Nike shirt or another company's shirt, yeah, I want to represent myself well, but at the end of the day, it's not me.
Right.
So now being able to have my own brand, it's a big deal. Yeah.
Breeden.
And it's all love it.
Yo,
Yeah.
listen, that's major, dog. Congratulations with that, man.
Appreciate
That take a lot to jump out the window.
It does.
Yeah.
I literally did jump out the window.
Word. And,
I did.
you know. That's it. I'm just body first, everything. Like,
Jumped out the window, but the window wasn't even open.
glass all of you.
Jumped
yo.
out, bro. It's crazy.
But listen, look where you made it.
Look what happened.
What
Yeah.
happened today?
Yeah. Yeah,
Black man working for himself.
We were definitely happy to have you, man. The way that we usually do it here at Grown Folk Business, we talk about the news a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it local to start. Brandon Flood, new secretary for Board of Pardons, local guy. Definitely wanna show some light to a lot of positivity that's going on in her.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Super proud of Brandon.
What was it, 9 years?
9 years.
9 years in the box?
People don't do that.
Right.
That's a big accomplishment.
And it's going to be major in terms of just the system, the reform, and everything like that. Just having a person that went through that and then going through and changing the whole,
And then it's
changing the
like,
whole.
especially what's going on right now with everybody, like with Meek doing it. Like, so I feel like with Pennsylvania as a whole, with all of these people coming together, like, I feel like we getting somewhere. It's slowly.
It's slow
It's slowly,
based.
you know what I mean? But we getting somewhere. I even feel like that in Harrisburg. People looking like I'm crazy. But, you know what I mean? It's going to take a while.
But you know what's going on, though. You got an idea
a
what's
little
going on.
bit. It's going to take a while.
It's there's things going on. And
You know what I'm saying?
it's just a matter of, us coming together and, stopping the nonsense that we be going around here everywhere, black people.
It's real.
It's like getting out of control, especially with that Nipsey stuff. So
Yeah, we getting there.
yeah, I know.
You see it, don't you?
Yeah. That's it, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Texas Tech, Virginia, Tiger game. Who you got?
First of all,
Talk about it.
It was a guard game. You play guard. Talk about it.
all right. So I was rooting for Auburn.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, even before that.
Okay.
Even before that, I was mad Duke lost. All right. Follow me on Instagram. You'll know I played my girl before. Act like that they did lost, and the game after they did lose. So I feel like I jinxed them. So I was mad. But Auburn, I was like, all right. Well, let me go with Auburn. I like their coach. He used to go at Tennessee.
Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl, good coach, and he had some good firepower. They knocked off in Carolina like it was nothing.
Like
So
before,
then-
but them boys.
Yeah. So then I'm watching them play against Virginia, and I think I played Virginia a little bit. I was like, oh, this is gonna be an easy game. I'm like, yo, these boys can play. And they all look like
I know the boy.
they
The point
don't
guard.
play basketball.
Yeah.
Like they look like 4.0, like scientists, like. And I'm like, yo, I mean, I don't normally judge a book by its cover, but they really can't.
They don't look like they
like
can
not
move
going
for real
around.
like that.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
They really don't.
Yeah, but
Not lying when you say that.
it was questionable though, man. Like they missed a double dribble, and that
Clear as that.
Clearly.
That messed up the whole game. At the end, I think it was a foul for the 3-point.
It was
a foul, but before it even got to that, it's like it's amazing, especially if you're gambling. That changes everything.
Oh, them big,
everything. So them refs, man, I don't know. They got to do a better job with that.
Somebody is.
Somebody
Somebody lost their
lost
crib. Somebody lost a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah, you lost a lot.
Thinking on
You
that.
can't be doing that though. Like as a ref, and me as a player, there's been times where like I lost a game. Like you can't per se blame a referee for
Never
making a
can,
call.
really. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like
Bro, you can't make that fucking call, ref.
but you can't.
I mean, that was like blatant though. Like, tell us to pick the ball up and start dribbling
You
again.
can't
Like,
miss blatant calls, bro. We can call that in the street.
right.
It's
Like,
stuff
nah,
like
cause
that.
double.
Yeah.
Shoot for it.
Ain't no shoot for that
That's not-
though.
that's not-
Right, it's not.
We all saw you.
You think they should have replay?
I think they should,
For
but
calls
the
like-
one thing I do like that the NFL does is the challenge. I
Yeah.
feel like there needs to be some form of that for basketball because like it's literally changing. Think about it. This team will be going to the championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, granted, maybe the dude still would have fouled him, but I don't know. It's not the same scenario. One point changes the way the whole course of a game goes. A guy makes a foul shot, guy misses a foul shot, changes the whole course of the game. Referee misses a call, or star players in foul trouble. That changes the whole course of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So them missing that, I feel like if they were able to replay, which they did, the fans at Auburn were going crazy.
It happened.
You know what I mean? But they had reason to. But then it's just like, oh, it happened. God damn it, you know what I mean?
It's a horse on that one.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, but it was exciting to watch though. But yeah, I just wish they do something like that. That gotta be decided the players. They can't be missing those type of calls.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of females here, and we're not just gonna bore y'all with sports. So we are gonna include y'all in the sports a little bit,
A lot of them ballers.
right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Alright.
Look, she picked it on her phone.
Here too.
Yeah.
Girl, yeah. She can hear this. Let me ask you this.
What you saying, Alpha?
The Paul Pierce D-Wade thing. Did you hear about that?
No,
at all?
I haven't.
Paul Pierce went on ESPN and said that had he had Shaq, he'd had a better career than D-Wade. Paul Pierce. Yeah, he said that. But you said this your first time hearing this too. So your reaction is like.
But I think without Shaq, Paul Pierce is still gonna be a Hall of Famer though. So that's
But he's saying it's better with he's.
Oh, but just in comparison to D-Wade.
Right.
Just in comparison, not even about Hall of Fame.
I don't think so. They're two different players. Like Paul Pierce is known for his mid-range game, starting on the post. D-Wade is known for pull-up, mid-range game and dunking on people.
Right.
You don't really see Paul Pierce dunking on people. He can do it.
Yeah, he does.
But he's not known for that. They're completely two different. Like, all right, Paul Pierce's nickname was the Truth.
Yes.
You never looked at Paul Pierce's game like, yo, he's so quick.
Right.
D-Wade's nickname was the Flash.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, you're not the same player. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know about that statement, man. Like,
Paul Pierce is saying a lot of questionable stuff a lot of
He's
times.
safe now. He can't play.
And
Safe.
I ain't never seen D-Wade get crossed and crumbled, almost break his
Yo,
ankle
D-Wade
to
is
Jameer Nelson. So
D-Wade's better, bro.
I think so.
That's just it.
D-Wade took more risks. Like, D-Wade got dunked on a lot of times, but he's out here trying to chase people's shots.
Right. I'm
That's
the best shot blocker as a guard.
As a guard, right.
Ever.
Right.
Yo, I'm sorry, the ladies involved, his wife
Yeah, real.
stepped
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
She said her exact words were, "You're not better than D-Wade,
Oh Lord.
and that's the truth."
That's the truth.
That's not something my wife would say.
That's the
Hands
truth.
down.
And she used his nickname in the end of it.
Right.
So that's like
Oh,
another
and she
shot.
put- all right,
Yeah,
oh,
The truth, and that's the truth.
all caps.
Okay.
Hashtag your name.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. Wow.
Take that.
Yo, shout out my man right here. Just walked in. We in a grown folk business. He was out on the street actually.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And cause he popped in, told me I had some liquor, some
Welcome.
whatever.
Alright.
Welcome.
So appreciate you coming out, man.
Welcome.
Grown folk business. Definitely welcome. That's how we do
Your
it.
fanny pack, brother. My man.
Yes,
Military
sir.
bag Jones on it too. Lit. What's up,
R.I.P.
man?
Nipsey Hussle, man.
Oh man, Nip, man.
Let's talk about it.
Man, that joint hurt me a little bit, yo. And I don't even know him. That's what make it crazy.
It hurt
Like,
me a lot, man.
Yeah.
It really did, because there's so many rappers out there that, they rap about the street life and they actually still in it.
mm-hmm.
He came from it and he used so much positivity. Like, he literally brought his hood.
Yo.
So alright, so my man G, he's recording for us right now.
Mhm.
He's a big time Nipsey Hussle fan. So to be honest with me, I didn't really like Nipsey Hussle's music.
Right.
When I say I didn't like his music, not sound like his lyrics, his flow, I just couldn't catch.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But
West
as a
Coast.
person, I'm with it.
Right.
The things he did, I'm with it. What he overcame, I'm with it. So just because I'm not a fan of his music and I blast his music doesn't mean I'm still not a fan of him as a person.
Right.
There were some people that made
Oh
statements.
man, that was
What?
so trash.
Yeah, some people made statements that said that if you didn't listen to him now, you can't. If you listen to him before, you can't listen to him now. It's like, bro, a human being died.
Pipe,
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, a human being died, and nowadays in 2019, it's a bunch of African Americans being killed for nonsense. You know what I mean? And we doing it to ourselves. So that's what drives me up a wall. Like, I can't stand that. Me coming from the projects, losing
Mhm.
friends, people who doing life who I knew
Yeah.
growing up, this stuff is weird to me. Somebody makes it out, buys a strip mall, buys the businesses in the mall, and puts his hood,
Here.
giving his hood jobs. Like,
Only them though.
what's the problem?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
And
problem?
if somebody hating, I don't even know what to believe about all of that, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah,
there's
it's
so
crazy.
much to that.
And honestly, I never listened to Nipsey.
Man, Nip
Yeah,
was
I'm
my
saying, I
dog.
never listened to
Since
Nip.
I've been
I
listening to
just-
Nip since the marathon mixtapes.
Yeah.
That dedication joint.
Off his new victory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been listening to that all crazy.
Nip
but
been
like,
my dog.
I tried, man. Like, I mean, from a different note, like I said, I couldn't get with his music. Like, I made myself listen to 2 tracks, his 2 best tracks, and I was like, I hear the lyrics, but that's
And
it.
it is.
I can't
It is what it
get
is.
with it.
It
But
is what it is.
him,
Yeah.
fools with me.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Holy, solely as a
Yeah.
person, yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all heard about the Kodak stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah.
y'all
I
heard
gotta get cable.
You said something.
You don't need cable for
Yeah,
that.
okay,
I
but
gotta-
anyway,
well, I have, like social media, I
dog-
know, but I need cable.
Dog goes on Instagram Live and he's having a conversation with his boys in the back, whatever, and he's talking about, Nipsey just died, and he ain't been dead a week.
Mhm.
And he's talking about Lauren London, like how long she's gonna need to cope. And he was like, I'll be the guy that whoever she needs me to be for her. In like a year, I'm gonna give her time because dude died, but
saying he be there waiting.
He's just saying I'm your shoulder to cry on if you need. But he didn't say, he was just saying it, talking crazy in the back. But it's his IG live, and his man's is like, yo, chill, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
It's too soon.
It's still warm.
And
That's
then
crazy.
everybody start coming at him, all these rappers and everybody, Gilly, Game,
That shows you people's heart attack, though, man.
Yes.
People will smile in front of your face, but that don't mean they got you.
Hot 97, they stopped playing his music. Or was that Hot 97 or who?
Well, he on fool with Hot because he walked out of one of the Ebro. That's Ebro and them. So he been not fool. They been not rocking with each other.
So then it was easy for them to
Ebro asked him about his sexual. That was easy.
Oh, alright. Yeah,
that was easy for Ebro. Yeah. Off the board.
Yeah, they definitely off the board.
And I rock with Kodak music.
Yeah,
I'm off of that,
is,
so I'm
why
off
would
of that.
you do that? Like, it don't make no sense.
This is what I say about it, bro. If we can't look at somebody's talent, automatically assume that morally they're here.
Yeah.
It's not. That's one thing that hit me because I mean, you look at the scandals and stuff like that. When somebody say something like that, we thinking like, why would he say something like that? That's because morally we like, there's no way. You know what I mean? Even at the worst, if you thinking it, you don't say it. Right. But he's saying it because he in his mind.
It's hard
cool
to say.
Yeah. Like everybody's thinking it. We not, bro. That's you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He definitely.
So,
He definitely.
I'm definitely not.
He responded defensively too about it. Like when niggas was coming from. He was like, "I'm sorry, I said that to her, but it was like, if anybody wants smoke, everybody needs smoke in their life." Like, this is what his response was. I'm like, nigga, he shot out.
Yeah,
but
shot all the way out.
You know, them young dudes though, some of them, don't get me wrong, definitely, because there's a lot of good young dudes out there. But they don't look at death the same way we do, because they be seeing people die, like, or just the internet is crazy these days, and just the shit they go through. So on top of that, but being from where like a nigga like Kodak from, like he probably don't take death seriously. You see niggas die every week probably. But it's not okay though. Nah, it don't make it alright.
He might be trying to sell some records. Stupid like.
But you might not care about nobody.
Like
that's sick though. Like boy needs some help on that. So I'm off of that.
How can we continue Nipsey's work for the people?
Just just keep being good people in my eyes and do good for your own people when you can.
I think by his ear too.
That too.
That too. Support, like, even if you're not listening to his music, at least let people not forget. Like, I just lost one of my good friends. Had to bury one of my good friends the day after my birthday, Julian Marshall. And I just speak to his funeral. Yeah, we grew up together. Yeah. And the main thing was, like, I still have his picture and stuff on my phone, still got his phone number and stuff like that. When you lose somebody like that, or anybody that's close to you, it's like, that's the common thought. Okay, how do I keep the memory fresh and everybody else's off? Because I'm not going to forget them. So I feel like whatever it is that they were a part of, you continue to be a part of it. Say that person's name. You know what I mean? Say the person's name. Like, you know, if I'm doing a move for my training, I'm teaching somebody a move, I say, you know, I learned this move from Jermaine. Oh, who's Jermaine Marsh.
Keep that going.
You know what I mean? Played pro ball, played Penn State, Arizona State, you know what I mean? I feel like that's how you keep somebody's name alive.
That's definitely how you keep somebody's name alive.
Man. Because
you actually giving them a visual to look up to, for real. So
right.
Hell yeah.
Right.
That's dope.
Because we ain't talking about nobody. Nipsey,
right.
He got a name. He needs some weight behind his name so you can look up his music, pictures, gear. Yeah.
I know that stuff went through the roof, you know. You hate that it happened that way, but, you know, definitely a way to keep
But honestly, I mean, with that whole situation, I feel like, I mean, you hate that it happened.
Yes.
But there's going to be some chatter, there's going to be some stuff coming from it. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a positive light shed somewhere. You know what I mean? There's definitely going to be some light in the tunnel. So definitely, you know what I mean? We all feel, I'm sure the same way. R.I.P. Nipsey, you know what I mean? But we definitely got to continue that movement and keep that work pushing forward.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So let's start the process. My first question, Snub, you have rapid Jones for me?
I got a few.
You got a few? You want to get it? You want to get some rapid Jones for me?
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy?
Bro. Yeah. Alright, bro. I'm just looking at what you want to give you. Alright.
It might be 4 moves. A lot of people
here. Yeah, that don't matter.
Now, first question though. Will Bron win a chip in LA?
Yeah. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell them what that mean, man.
No.
Championship. Will LeBron win a championship in LA?
Oh, yeah,
everybody,
sure.
I think, in that hoop, they know that.
Yeah, definitely. Championship for sure.
All right. How would you react if somebody shot a music video on your car without your permission?
Before I get to that, how long did it take to come up with that question?
Say, I seen it. So I'm gonna ask the first person I see on camera this question.
I think I wouldn't care. Because to be honest, my car ain't like that. The only way I'm gonna really know, like, all right, let me see if that dent's familiar. Oh man, like you ain't gonna really know. Hey man, what do you think?
Yeah, you ain't do nothing to it, bro. You go ahead.
Now, if you jumping on my car,
they draw.
we gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
We gonna have a problem.
Hands and feet.
Yeah.
You getting everything I got.
Yep.
All right. The biggest challenge to the Warriors this postseason.
I think just staying healthy.
Yeah,
just staying healthy. They're gonna win again.
Nobody's beating them.
They're gonna win again. The only people I think that would challenge them, I was about to say is the Rockets,
but they ain't got it.
because the Bull Flames Harden, he fine.
MVP?
He cold. Yeah, he should get it.
Over
Because Giannis is a good player, but he's not a great player.
Word.
Yeah, he's not a great player. Like,
Okay.
we even say James Harden's one dimensional. Like, he don't play both ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but he can give you a 60 piece,
Right.
easily. Giannis
With
can score
two sides.
Right.
Give you a biscuit.
Right. And whatever sauce you want, that's James Harden.
It's easy.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know what Snub's talking about. He's a Rockets fan. I got the Rockets. You know? Like I got the
I
Rockets.
would love to,
if
but
Golden State don't win, yeah.
bro,
Yeah,
they got Boogie, the
So
KD.
Yeah.
They got KD, bro.
They got KD, dog, and then they got Steph.
Hold on. They got KD.
It's end of story.
they
But
got
that-
Harden.
They got KD.
Yeah.
Them two, they can go back and forth.
Yeah, right. Okay, good.
It's
Them
a
two will
lot.
go back and forth. But then you forgot the Splash Brothers. You got brother Clay.
Mm-hmm.
One corner.
All right, it's too many people here.
You got Steph.
So that's yeah. My last question for you, because we talked. Yeah, actually talking about James Harden. Is his step back a walk?
No.
It's not a walk.
It's the NBA.
It's not a walk. Are you calling that? Are you calling that here at home
No,
on
I'm
the
not
court?
calling it.
You're not calling it.
The people who say it's a walk, and you entitled to your opinion. First of all, you probably can't do it. Secondly, if you know it's gonna work on you.
It's
And it's
so
the
much
same thing
space
with
in
AI.
creating.
They turned his crossover to a carry.
Yes, they did.
Come on, man.
Wait. So would you use that in training? Would you
Which
train
one?
somebody that Harden?
Yes. You need another
It's
step.
not illegal.
Take another step.
If they
You
ain't
need
call
another
it,
step. Here's what I would do. I'll be more specific. Make sure it's the game-winning shot. Don't do it during the course of the game. In Pennsylvania, man, they referee games differently.
I heard.
That's true though.
I heard. My boy had his son out in Delaware. He said it was
Yeah, it's
total.
different.
The boy, they let the boys play. And everything. They get busy out there.
Different.
So, but that was it for my rapid questions.
That was it?
Bro. Yeah.
Alright, bro, let's
Wasn't
bring it
too, bro.
The topic, trust the process. We were talking about the process with Nipsey as well, but we're gonna get into the process of Jonathan Breeden. Does the process of your life start with the higher power or God, family, or your career?
God first.
God first.
I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I say Jesus Christ. I say God. I don't say the man upstairs. That's my belief. There's a lot of people that don't believe in God or whatever. I'm not against them. But that's for me. That's the foundation for me. Then my family. I kind of mix my family and my career together. My wife don't make me choose. Like my family is my wife and my son. Now, granted, I have my mom, my other immediate family. But once we got married, it's like, okay, this is the primary focus. My wife, and never once was there hesitation for like, if I got a speaking engagement, she's not like, yo, it's my birthday. She's like, go, come back, we'll celebrate my birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
For real?
Yeah, oh yeah, hands down. That happened just
Is
last year.
that for real?
That happened just last year.
Because I don't know if that's gonna happen a lot.
As a matter of fact, I did a vlog on it. I have a vlog on it last year because I went to DC to speak, and it was a whole day. I had a speaking engagement in DC, then I had to come back, had a training session, and then I was late to her birthday party, and she was cool.
She's cool.
It was all good.
You know what I was doing? I wasn't like I was out doing like I want to come to your party. I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm paying. I got to help pay the bills. Like yo, I'm going to work. I'll be there though.
But y'all, you know there's a reason why he's reacting like this,
Well,
because there's probably women down here that don't have a
Oh,
problem with that.
I said, Mona, I said, my wife.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah,
Mine.
yeah.
Well, yeah. She's legit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, of course.
That's dope.
She gets the vision, man. She gets. You can't. I don't understand how you can do anything great if you with somebody who don't understand what you're doing, I think it's gonna make things impossible. Not hard, it's gonna be impossible.
Right.
Because you lay together, you sleep together, you eat together, work out together, you do everything together, and then it's like at the same time, all these meeting points with your significant other, they pulling at you like, yo, why? You're fed up. I don't have to keep explaining the vision to you. Like, so I never really had to do that. Like, I'm not saying we don't argue. We was arguing early this morning. We have random arguments, 3 a.m.
What?
3 o'clock in the morning, bro. She rolls over and brings up the conversation on the app the day before. I was like, wait, I thought you won it. I thought you won that argument. No, I got one more point. Oh, okay. All right, cool. But in terms of business, Sean, she good.
That's what's up.
And you let her get all that out too.
Oh yeah.
All of it. Go ahead.
Because if I don't, I'm gonna hear it later.
Exactly.
Get it out, baby.
Dump it
What
on,
happened?
come
What
on.
did tell me what I did.
Yeah.
Okay? And when I did it too, so I know I don't do it again.
Ever.
It wasn't on purpose.
I don't know if that's gonna work.
What?
No, that shit ain't gonna work for everybody, bro.
Oh no, it's not.
He said for him from the rip.
You said keep it real, keep it quiet. I'm keeping it real. This is my situation. Everybody's situation different. Everybody's situation different. I'm talking about for me, the Breeden household. That's how our boat floats.
And see, that's the good thing because it's a breeding household.
Right, right.
I don't got no structural household like that, so it don't usually work like that.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, fuck you, baby.
You just can't be running around here swinging your thing around like that.
Yeah,
And
snub,
you ain't got no established. You ain't got no established.
Snub. I ain't say that shit.
Oh, I'm just making sure.
I ain't say nobody saying shit.
I can't.
I just said it don't work like that all the time.
I'll paraphrase that.
Talk about
I feel like, not to shout out Breakfast Club, but you Charlamagne for sure.
I'm guessing so. I'm guessing.
That's exactly what I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
If anybody can paraphrase here, that's what I heard. I don't know. My man, right? Yeah. I heard you, dog.
whatever.
Anyway, that's my man. You do whatever you want.
Family the family process. The process of marriage. Since we're talking about it, because you know, nobody married yet neither.
Nah, but I might as well be.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Like I've been dating
Girl
her
wasn't
since high
profile
school.
picture.
Like we've been together since high school. It was on and off. We've been together since high school though, on and off. But people were saying the same thing to me. Y'all been together for 10 years, and you don't put the ring on. I said, when I can afford it. That's
Is it expensive for not the ring?
No,
but
it's not
marriage.
expensive, but if I don't got them, I gotta plan for that. Like all right. So for marriage, right? The women, their focus is the debt, right? The wedding debt. Our focus is, okay, after we say I do, honeymoon, when you come back home, living our life. That's for the wedding day, big turn up. This is you.
Right.
Do your thing. But after that, I'm thinking like, all right, okay, when everybody leaves. Yeah. When it's just us, who cooking tonight? You gonna order out? All right, cool. Yeah, like so marriage is good, man. But like, so we do counseling every month. A lot of people feel weird about counseling. Like me, I'm be honest. If my relationship didn't work, it's my fault. I know it's my fault. One, I'm dominant, she's dominant, but for the most part, I kind of set the thermostat, like in terms of the temperature in my house. She goes with it. Not saying that she don't dictate what goes on in the house, because she does. Anybody? I got family here. Y'all know.
Yeah.
She does. Right? Yeah, she does. But for the most part, at the end of the day, she don't step on my toes. I don't step on her toes. Like, we focus on, like, so one of our counselors said, he's like, yo, the 50-50 thing is impossible. I'm like, my whole life I was told you're supposed to split everything 50-50. What are you talking about? He's like, well, what's going to happen is if you go 50-50, the problem is what happens if that one person doesn't get 50, they get 49. Now somebody's putting more weight. There's more weight on one side than the other. Now here comes an argument. Yo, why's your clothes on the floor?
Ooh, shit.
Why did you cook? You didn't tell me you didn't cook. Yeah, I told you I was on my way to the house. I just got done working. Why ain't my food ready? Right? But she's not the chef of the house. I didn't marry her because of the food. She got to work. She got stuff to do. Right? So it's like, all right, the longer we focus on our strength, John, what are you good at? You good at keeping this stuff a little bit organized. She's good at the decor, all that. So that's what I'm going to focus on. That's what you're going to focus on. We split the food. Babe, who paying for food tonight? Are you cooking tonight? All right, no, you're not. Just let me know. I'll take care of it. Because there's a lot of arguments. If you think about it, there's a lot of relationships that ain't working over simple stuff, yo. I'm telling you. Like, people really, like, I remember Kevin Hart made a joke about juice. People really break up over juice.
Facts.
No, that's real.
That's very real.
People break up over
We have a
juice.
real argument about some food.
Yes,
and
that's
juice.
real. Like, I argue with my girl over that. Don't ask me for my food.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. To
Y'all.
her, no, listen.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
To her, it's cute. My girl thinks it's cute to share food. I don't. We came together. I want every bit of my food.
Yeah, if I got my own stuff, like if we not
No.
swapping and you ate yours, yeah, like.
Baby, get a piece of the steak. Well, I'm not gonna be full now. If I give you this piece of the steak, this piece right here, that's for this part of my stomach. If I give it to you, I'm gonna be hungry. You're not gonna take me out to eat later on. This is the only thing you're gonna eat.
Right.
Then the one time, see, so my girl, like, all right.
Oh,
What's up about it?
Keep it real. It's a mic over there. It's a mic.
I guarantee you everything I say is less than what it actually is. The first crib we lived in together when we got married, right? She's eating cereal. She's eating cereal. Is that something you share? Excuse me.
No, I'm sharing no cereal.
Excuse me. You share cereal.
Julian,
I'm
Julian,
both
yeah,
cereal.
Julian said yeah.
You good.
That's that long
Yeah.
marriage stuff.
Alright, so that's
long
one person.
couple
That's
stuff,
one person.
bro.
Right.
You say yeah. Share cereal. Alright. Now hold up. I'm gonna get more specific. Not this. Look, she ate her cereal. Cereal's gone.
You done?
Cereal's gone, right? I'm like, babe, man, I'm hungry. She's like, oh, babe, no. You can have my milk. You want some of my milk? I just saw you double dip your spoon.
Ezekiel Elliott with the. Wow.
And I know how she sipped. She sipped.
That's Ezekiel Elliott.
I seen her sip before she sipped. And she wanna share with me. That's how cute.
I'm alright. I'm good.
No, babe, you
I'm
can have
hungry.
that.
Yeah,
You can have that.
it's on you.
You can have it. I'm gonna get my own bowl.
Trying to offer you the milk though?
No,
That's terrible.
but to her, it's the thought that counts.
Because literally it is. I thought about you.
Babe, my milk.
Yes, here's my backwash.
Remember my
You
milk?
said you were
Yep.
thirsty, weren't you?
Remember my milk?
Oh my
Am I lying,
god.
babe? See?
Yo.
Straight up, bro.
So the process of marriage, we need your own milk and
Yes.
and marriage counseling.
Focus on your strengths, man. Focus on your strengths. Don't do the 50-50. You set yourself up.
We're not putting names on stuff though. We don't gotta go that far.
Nah, I do have no. Okay, I do have my stuff.
Okay, yes.
But she still finds a way to get it. So I'm not gonna be like, yo, my name's on. She be like, bro, I got your last name. Like, dang, that's true. That's true.
Change that narrative real
That's
quick.
real,
That's true.
man.
Yeah, I'll be stuck.
Hey, I got a question. She has a question for the guest.
You got a question or she got a question?
I have a question for the conversation. So, would you guys suggest Jonathan's married to you? Sounds like one's in a relationship, one's super single. So, would you guys suggest that we should, people who are trying things out, want to get to that point of life, should we be out here practicing with our partners, living, eating cereal together, cooking? Should we do that right away? Like, when do you
Not
start
right
to
away.
practice?
Okay, so I'm different. Just disclosure, let everybody know right now, I am very different. Okay, so like I said before, I love the Lord. Okay,
Amen.
I love the Lord. So I live different than everybody else. So when I say what I'm about to say, I'm not putting it on you.
Okay.
This is what I did. So I want you to be like, he too spooky, spiritual. I'm not doing that.
I mean,
Tell me
we-
what I did.
we went to church
Right?
together.
Right. Now, here's what I want you to understand. So I moved. Yeah, growing up.
Growing up, we did.
My mom was a
That ain't telling no
Sunday
ghost
school
or
teacher. She was a
nothing.
Sunday school teacher. For real. So, alright, so I moved in with her and her dad out of school. I lived with them for 2 weeks. Talked to my pastor. He was like, yo, what you doing? I was like, man, I'm living life good. Just moved in with my girl. Everything's cool. He was like, yeah, but I'm moving with your girl stuff. Y'all engaged? I was like, nah. He's like, what you doing? It's like, I just told you, I'm living with my girl. He's like, oh, so you shopping? I didn't say nothing about basketball, bro. What I said was, I'm living with my girl, right?
Yeah.
So he hit me in the head with that. I'm like, all right. Everybody else is doing this, cool. I do want to be different, it's cool, but babe, I gotta move out. This was so hard because for me, it was spiritually why I didn't want to do it. It wasn't nothing against my girl, her dad was with it, it was cool. But there was friction there because it looked like I was running from responsibility.
Yeah.
That's how it looked. But internally for me, it was like, I'm not okay with this.
Right.
For me.
For you.
You know what I'm saying? So I think if that's what works for you, moving in together, whatever, go ahead. For me, I feel like if there is no commitment, people can just go in and out. and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you don't gotta be married, engaged, whatever, but a lot of times we say I love you, but the person's definition for love may be different than what you thought they meant. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I'm not just gonna leave my girl or nothing like that. I explained to her, yo, we're not living together. I didn't propose to you. I think you deserve better, whatever. She understood. At the very beginning, it was not like that. She like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, babe, I'm sorry. This is my convictions, like, whatever. Now, I'm saying that. I'm not saying I did everything right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make that clear. Like, I didn't do everything right, but the things that you can control, just take control of it. Like, so if you want to move in and live with that person, you trust them, do your thing. I'm not gonna tell you how to live, but for me, let's just say I was a runner. Okay, I broke up probably with Kirsten 11 times. You ain't twin, shout out. Yeah. Easily, like within a year. Like, she did something that was so small. Remember I told you, breaking up over juice. Yeah. I was like, babe, no, I'm out. She's like, what? It was so common. Like, she just be like, let me guess, you're done.
To that point. Go ahead.
Yeah, that point.
I'll see you at 7.
It was one of those. Yeah. So, like, I had to get my life together. Like, yo, you keep running. So, imagine, I keep doing that. Now I'm like, yeah, yo, I got to move out. So, their perspective is, yo, he doing it again. Where it's really not a reason. It don't match because of how my actions were. So sometimes you just gotta hold yourself accountable. Like, I could be like, oh, they don't understand, I ain't messing with you. To be honest, I buried my own grave. I set myself up by my actions previously, but at the end of the day, it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, if it works for you, then all I'm requesting is if there is some type of commitment or you know that person is legit. Like, people like, I love you, but what they really mean is, as soon as you get me mad, I'm out.
Let me get that credit card.
Huh?
That's what it means. I love you.
What happened? That's not what I said.
I'm talking about them kind of dudes. Right? I'm so ready to move in.
The gold diggers.
Yeah, they come in mail form too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What? So you got something to say, Snap?
Nah. What's next?
The last part of it, we're doing the career. Career questions. What if you don't receive immediate support during your process? Because a lot of times when you start off stuff, you don't get the support that you're looking for, or that you're hoping for, and I know a lot of times that could be tough.
Okay, so when I started my business, I was the only one that saw it. Nobody understood it. So, when I left the company I was training for, I left on pure faith. I didn't have no basketballs, I had no gym, I had no clients. But I knew I got the gift. So imagine I got consistent income coming in, car payment, paying groceries. I still live with my mom at the time, and now I'm going to nothing, right? And then when I finally things start going together. My mom's like, what are you doing? My girl was like, are you sure? Godparents and mentors are like, yo, I understand what you're saying you're trying to do, but why don't you do both? Like, why don't you split? You know what I mean? Actually, I got a story about that too. We'll get to at the end. I said, yeah, exactly. That was my thing. I'm like, I got to fully commit to this. It's going to work. Yeah. So to be honest, a lot of times that's why we fail, because we're looking for outside support, but it's your dream. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look for other people to prove it. This goes into my story. I had a meeting on last Thursday. Meeting last Thursday. Meeting last Thursday with a multi-millionaire. He worked. Well, I don't think he works for real, but he owns buildings. Right? I'm gonna put in perspective on what I mean by that. So he owns hospital locations. So I met up with him to get business advice, and he said what I do is a hobby. The business that I've been doing for 6 years, making money, taking care of my family, all that, is just a hobby, right? So that's a slap in the face, but I didn't get offended. I was like, all right, let me get to hear him. So he keeps talking. He's like, I'm like, so how did you start your process? He said, well, when I graduated school, I started by running one hospital. I was like, okay. Then I ran 15 hospitals. I was like, pause, wait. How many hospitals? Then I ran 40. I'm like, wait, no. I told you pause at 15. How do you run 15 hospitals with one person? So he's, like I said,
how do you go from 1 to 15?
I'm telling you, it's their mentality, bro. So he said, all you got to do is hire CEOs in different locations. They they answer you. But he said it nonchalant, like it's not a big deal.
Right.
And I'm like, 40 hospitals? First of all, you know how insurance quotes are, medical bills, all that stuff. Okay, we're talking about hospital buildings. He owns the buildings, like different locations, not just in Pennsylvania. He's got buildings in Louisiana, all over the world, all over the country, I should say. And he's real nonchalant about it. So now him saying my stuff is a hobby makes sense.
It changes.
I get it. I'm like, okay.
Paying down that resume.
Exactly. Now had I got offended by it, like, yo, my stuff ain't no hobby, right? I missed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just listened to him, and he kind of shot my business down, like completely shot it down. I didn't ask him for money. I didn't want no. I don't want your money. First of all, Breeden Enterprise, we're not in debt. We don't take out no loans or nothing. All the stuff we have is from our own profits, right? So he was like, yo, well, you know, I don't mind investing. At this time, I don't want you to invest, bro. I didn't even ask you to invest, but you shot my stuff down, and it hit me the whole day Thursday after. I met with him at 11. The whole day, I was in a funk. This is just last Thursday. I was in the funk like bad. I told my wife, my mom, told my brother. I'm like, bro, like I'm messed up. And my mom, she always got some wisdom, bro. She was like, how long have you known him? That's what she said. I was like, I just met him not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago. She said, okay. Before you met him, were you doing okay? I was like, yeah, I was doing good. She said, all right, so why does what he had to say dictate how you feel? What are you doing?
Our moms always know that, bro. They know what the perfect thing to
perfect
say.
thing to say.
And
the thing is, she didn't even know. It's like I just walked in the house. I just told her, and right away, I'm like, you didn't even meditate on that. How did just
come on? I know my son.
That's like on her lip. It just came out of there. But that's the truth, though. Like we put people on these pedestals, man, because of their financial status or what they've achieved. And what happens if that person not having a good day and they say, yo, your product's trash, and it's not.
And it's not, yeah.
And you believe them.
Yeah.
Yo,
And you believe them, though. Now you're going to shut your business down.
Jesus.
That's just, it's that simple, man. For me, for Harrisburg, my biggest thing for businesses around Harrisburg is just to think on a grander scale. Like, think that's big.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you mean to tell me out of all these years that people who make multi-millions of dollars only come from the other side of the river or is only do sports? That's not true. There's so many different avenues, man. So many different lanes.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is the mentality. When you think on a smaller scale, you get what you're thinking about. That's it. You just get what you're thinking about. And for me, it was like, all right, I need to think on a bigger scale. So when I was like earlier, I was talking about, he was like, yo, we start black time, we late. I was like, no, they do that in Africa.
Right.
And I was like, no, I've been there twice. He was like, oh, you was really there. I never thought I would have went to Africa twice. My dad's African. He's from Namibia. I never met my dad. Yet I go to Africa twice, helping the less fortunate, you know, doing all these things. And I didn't allow that to kind of cripple me. Like, I ain't going over here. Like, nah, my man left me.
Guess
Like,
we're
nah.
from here.
Not letting that stop me. I gotta think on a bigger scale. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the main thing, man. We gotta think big, though.
Yo.
Gotcha.
Harrisburg, you
Thank you. Yo, say it again, bro. That's
Too much talent.
way too much. There's so much going out here. So much going on out here, man. That we definitely could expand upon or expand upon or expand upon whatever. But yo, it's a lot of shit that we definitely could be doing. Yeah, I think that way.
I agree.
You killed it.
I killed that shit.
My nigga, though.
Gotta think big, man.
But
Gotta think big. And the thing is, too, with thinking big, you gotta educate yourself within that field.
right.
Yes, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So I got a college degree.
Yes.
But my college degree is in education and health. That doesn't correlate with basketball training, motivational speaking. Matter of fact, I got a D in my motivational speaking and public speaking class. I got a D.
Ain't that something?
As a matter of fact, I remember that day. And matter of fact, when I got the D, I accepted. I was like, yup, I can't speak. It's a D.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's another bag. It's another bag. I'm like, nah, I got a D. Yup, I deserve it. Because I had a test. You had to pick a top, or you had to pick they gave you a random topic. You see in front of the class. And I wore a yellow shirt, dumb. I sweat, so dumb. Had my hands in my pocket the whole time. Had a whole bunch of ums and uhs coming out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And the teacher sitting back. The teacher sitting back is looking at me like this. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? So he kind of distracted. He's just like leaning the whole time. And the way the class was set up, before you start talking, you gotta leave the room, and they tell the class to pick a certain mood. So either they're interested, disinterested, or bored. So they chose disinterested for me. So there's a girl sitting right in front of me on her phone.
On your phone.
Like this. So you don't see me up there talking.
Word.
There's a dude on the left side of you. So if you sitting down to your right, popping gum. I'm like, first of all, we don't pop gum, bro.
Nah, yeah.
We don't pop gum.
Nah, that's not a dying thing.
He's popping gum
Yeah.
while I'm speaking.
Yeah.
This is
I don't
personal
even know how
now.
to do
No, this is personal. You don't pop gum, right? Like if I see you texting, I get it, but I'm gonna text you up. But popping gum? Come on, man, don't do that. So yeah, man, I got to be in public speaking, but I ain't let this stop me. Look, my business is speaking.
Right.
That's what
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Right.
But what if I let that grade get to my head? I'm not a good speaker, so I'm not gonna speak.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't care about that letter grade. I don't care about what this person of influence says. That has nothing to do with where I'm going. I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
We need those. We need those no's too.
Yeah.
We need those no's. Like we got a lot of no's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Some no's though. I feel like there's different categories of no's. Some no's you gotta ignore. Because sometimes you get no's because you looked in the wrong place. That's what I was talking about. But there's some people in your corner that says no. You better listen to them when you want to embarrass yourself.
how can you distinguish those no's?
Because they're in your corner. You're not gonna just like, all right. I'm sure me and you go way back. There's something you would tell me, but I feel like there's something you wouldn't tell me that you would tell Snub. Because y'all work together. You know what I'm saying? Even though me and you had a previous relationship, y'all are close. Y'all work together. So it's just different categories.
Right.
So if I say, yo, your company's trash, you be like, yo, he's hating.
Yeah.
If he say, yo, our company's trash, you be like, dang,
This
what
is-
we
this
do
is-
that
this is-
because it's in your corner,
Yeah.
right? So I ain't listening to everybody. People comment on my videos and tell me. Matter of fact, one lady told me I should never wear a hat. I said, this is what I said. It's my response. I said, how many speaking engagements you had? She said, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the advice, but I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me. Everywhere
Distinguishing the no's.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go to speak, I
You
wear a hat.
bad. You
That
bad,
is me.
boy.
I wear a hat.
Yeah, you do be. I just peep that. You come
Alright.
in that too.
That's me. I wear a hat. Stop trying to change me, man. I wear a hat. Sometimes I sleep with one.
What's
I
wrong?
wear a hat, man. Bro, I wear a
What the
hat.
hell is wrong with speaking with a hat on?
I don't know, cause her thing was when you wear your hat like this, they can't see your face,
Right.
right? So she has some education behind it. But I'm like, all right, so I'll
Lift my hat or I'll turn it around.
can you see me now?
Yeah.
Good.
The
good.
words are still coming out
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
It's still everything
Still
behind
People
it.
have their own preference, man. Like I said, you hit her on the head, bro. Distinguish the nose.
Yeah.
You should not wear a hat, sir. Ma'am, you're not my target audience.
You must have walked into the wrong session
Yeah.
and everything.
Unfollow me.
Miss Butterworth Convention's over there.
Don't comment. Follow someone else.
Yeah. What's good, man?
The next.
I mean, that was it for the question.
Oh, it's good. Good,
Yeah.
man. Man.
Good?
This is great.
Hell yeah,
Thank you,
man.
everybody, for coming.
Definitely thank everybody for coming out, man. Wait, don't give us some music yet. We got some shout outs. Oh! La Cultura. Better? La Cultura. Yeah, shout out La Cultura for having us today. Shout out everybody that came out. Definitely gotta shout out the sponsors. Mini Cakes.
Poor
She's still out there?
No, she left.
Okay. Poor Princess. Miss Celeste, she's still here. Who else? I have it written down. Madonna. Madonna, you still here?
She just left.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Madonna.
Definitely shout out
Thank
to
you,
Madonna,
Queen.
man. She definitely looked out. Brittany came through, showed us love, some liquor. Who else?
That's when the party got started. So.
Chrissy came through with the flyers and shit. Wolf Doctors came through with some liquor too. GFB, of course.
My man Keys.
Alf, Snug.
Hold on, man.
Alf.
You keep on calling me Alf. I am
DJ, who Alf?
DJ.
No, let me
What
say.
is
Let me
it? Say it yourself.
Let me say
You should
myself.
drop it. Why would you drop? Drop it.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That drop, so we didn't catch that. Do that again.
That's what I'm talking about.
One more time. One more time for everybody in the back. With the whistle. With the whistle.
Hey, y'all can't
I
fuck
always
with it.
wanted to
Hey,
ask
hey,
you, yo.
check out next month. Next month we got a throwback radio station coming back. 90s, all 90s, 90s and 2000. 12 hours a day.
Y'all playing R.
Pick it
Kelly?
up, mix it up. Let's go. Oh, I'm sure be on this. Hey, you know, hey, R. Kelly. You know, he has a bunch of songs, but I need
12 play for them 12 years olds. Not that.
we need listeners.
Don't you put that on.
We need listeners, man. We need listeners. So look for it. If you're not my Facebook friend, I'll make you my friend, and I'll throw that app to you. Once I turn it on next month. You guys listen 12 hours a day.
Okay.
Throwback music.
Throwback.
Right here in Harrisburg.
Nice.
Cool DJ out long.
I had a question for you, though. So I don't know who it was. I think it was just like maybe sometimes Lil Wayne songs or something, and the beat would drop, and the voice would be like, "Damn, son, where'd you find it?" Who? What? How did you get that? Like, who is
I did
that?
that.
You?
That's me.
And you changed the voice?
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure. I'm like, yo, whoever's voice is that
So
deep.
now you drop.
Who is that?
Yeah, you definitely
Yo,
do that video.
I really be like, yo, who's doing that?
Yeah, I'm the king of that.
You know, when you talking about is the bull's real voice, though.
Nah, that's me.
Right, okay, all right. I'm like, yo, what in the world? Yo.
Got any shout outs, bro?
Hey, man, shout out to my wife, shout out to my mom right now, looking out for my son. Shout out to the whole Breeden household. I believe I got my employees here, my workers. Shout out to them for being here, supporting. And everybody who's here, man, I appreciate y'all. Also,
Where can you
grown folk business.
when can anybody cop gear?
You can cop gear at theloyalist.com/be here. Theloyalist.com/be here. Make sure I get that to y'all. Theloyalist.com/be here. Hoodies, hats, shirts, whatever you need, sweatpants. And then I'm also on social media, Instagram at Jonathan Breeden, one word. Same thing on Facebook, and Twitter is at Mr. Breeden, I believe. Yeah. So follow me, man. I'm definitely making some moves and making some transitions, man, into speaking, sometimes a little bit of comedy too. I'm making some changes. I'm making some big changes. Rebranding, everything. A lot of changes. If you go on my social media now, it'll look like I'm not repping Believe at all, because I'm doing a rebranding, but yeah, it's a lot of changes going on.
Oh, is that what you just
That's
Yeah,
dope.
That's dope. We had a good time.
Okay,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, but we
Next
can't
time,
wait to see.
You invite me back.
Yeah, we
Hell yeah, man. We definitely had a great time.
Yeah.
My man. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Before we get out of here though,
Oh yeah.
what?
You talking about Ahmad and you got
Yeah,
shout
hell
out.
yeah. We definitely got the Grown Folk event part 2 is coming up in May 4th. If you ain't see that video on your Facebook yet, it is a video out right here, a little promotion joint. Is that Rev? What up, Rev?
What up, Dingle?
Oh shit, I don't know what I mean. But I sorry, I can't got everybody.
I like that.
But yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody tuned in.
Yeah.
GFB, man, we out of here.
Bam.